All right, we'd like to open this select board meeting at the Vassar Town Hall on this August 26th at 6 o'clock. We have here myself, Michael Jordan, select board.
Josh Livingston, road foreman.
Ron Graves, select board member.
Eve Silverman, minutes.
Madison Vassar, town clerk and select board assistant.
And we have a presentation from Laura Arnson from the MRVRD.
And then Mad River TV.
And Mad River TV, yep. So I'd like to open this with going through approving the minutes from our last meeting on October 12th
August.
of August. October.
Your head.
You're jumping ahead.
Yep.
Think about work.
So does anybody have a time to review those minutes?
I did.
Anybody like to make a motion to?
I move to accept the
I will
minutes
second that motion. I.
All in favor, I'm in favor.
Just I need your signature real quick.
And then in addition, we had a special select board meeting on August 13th,
And it
2025.
the meeting was
Meeting
actually
was canceled.
It was an interview, so it was actually canceled. So this is just minutes. Stating that.
Does that, those minutes have to be accepted?
No.
The 13th was canceled?
Correct.
And then we had a site visit select board meeting on August 14th out on Center Fayston Road to go over a water line issue where it crosses the street. Has everybody had the chance to review those minutes?
Yes, I move to accept the minutes of
And I would
August 14th.
second that.
Site meeting?
Aye.
Last one.
Then an additional special select board meeting on August 18th, which I was not a part of.
Can we pass those with only one? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We've got to wait for
Okay.
Chuck.
Yep.
We'll need to check on those.
Okay, and then additions and deletions to tonight's agenda. We're going to be adding, under other businesses, approval for Tyler to be our Army Corps agent, and approval signature for A&R and Army Corps as the applicant.
And I'd like to just add an update to the town garage.
Okay.
And we have an additional curb cut too,
Correct.
permit. All right, and based on that, public comment, seeing as there's no one from the public here, we will move right on to Laura.
Thank you. So I have joined the meeting through
Yeah.
Zoom, right?
Yep.
And so down there, if you say share, then I think I'll be able to get my slideshow going.
I think it's just sharing my screen though.
Share. I had to send a request, which I just did, for you to share.
Recording in progress.
I muted myself.
Can you send that one more time? Share.
Okay. So,
Because it was sharing my screen, so it wouldn't let me accept your.
yeah.
So if you just do it one more time,
If I do it, okay,
it should work this time.
sure, okay. Thank you. All right, yeah.
There we go.
Okay, yep, we're just about there. Thank you for your patience. Turn that into a full slideshow. Okay, great. So yes, I am Laura Arneson. I've been to other meetings of yours. I'm the executive director of the Mad River Valley Recreation District, which is sponsored by the 3 towns. And starting in January, Moortown has joined as a half member, so that's great. And we have been the facilitator manager of the big VORAC grant. That stands for Vermont Outdoor Recreation Economic Collaborative. So we got $408,000 a couple years ago to build the bridge across the Millbrook, a couple other components, and a really big important community component is conservation and recreation visioning, and that's what I'm here to talk about tonight. And this is a small group. You should stop me if you have questions, or I'll take questions at the end. Either way is just fine. So what is CRV? It's an ongoing collaboration among local organizations to help balance ecological integrity and outdoor recreation. So we said all along that we're all recreationalists and we're all environmentalists. Like, you can't, well, I guess you could, but most people love the outdoors and want to protect it. So this is, whether you're a mountain bike rider, a hiker, a hunter, any of that great outdoor recreation activities. So, we are entrusted with this beautiful valley, and we want to make sure that the trails we build and the other things we do in the great outdoors allow us to continue using a healthy ecological environment. So the big VORAC grant had 5 pillars you had to hit when you were getting it. And we got the biggest grant in the 2022 cycle in the entire state. And I believe one of the main reasons we got it was because of CRV, because one of the pillars was stewardship of your land and the environment. And other things revolved around economic development and various goals. But we had 15 groups working together, half of them trails organizations, half of them environmental groups or conservation commissions from all the towns were represented. So, and in the grant to the state, we promised some deliverables, and we hired Arrowwood Environmental, a consulting firm that's done a lot of wildlife corridor studies and other environmental things in the valley, and they were great to work with. And one of the things we focused on was going to be to develop an online map that has different layers. You can, and it's open to the public, it's on our website. I'm going to show you later about that, but you can layer on, it has all the roads, all the major roads, all of the public trails in the Mad River Valley. And then Arrowwood looked at, from their experience and from a scientific viewpoint, and that's was always our goal with CRV, was to use science to drive how we would look at a sustainable environment. So they came up with 13 different items that can all be layered on separately, or you can layer on 5 or just 2. You can look at your backyard, you can look at your favorite trail, and you can see these 13 items are things that should be protected in the environment to help long-term protection. So some of them are like bat habitat, and it protects the bats, but it's protecting other things as well, right? Then some of them are, mass stands for bears, some of them are wetlands, some of them are wildlife corridors. So that was a big deliverable that we had from the very beginning, because we wanted to use science and best practices to make all the decisions. And this has always been a voluntary group. We have no enforcement. We are just saying, as a community, 15 organizations got together to try and come up with an agreement that would be long-lasting. And we talk about this grant-funded first couple of years as CRV 1.0, so Conservation Recreation Visioning 1.0, and now the grant has just ended and we're moving to CRV 2.0, which we hope will go on for decades, because we've set the foundation for trails groups and environmental groups to be honest, talk about their plans, and make sure we, protect our beautiful valley. So, mentioned this before, the big $408,000 grant included enhancements and the move of the chamber to the Welcome Center. It's at the intersection of Routes 117. Behind that is the bridge. That was the biggest expense. It was over $200,000. Big hunk of metal from South Carolina that Bob Kogut and the riders worked on. Luckily for us, Bob Kogut's day job is engineering, so he was the right person to facilitate the building of that bridge. We had to put in additional parking and landscaping, which included a riparian buffer to make sure we protected the Millbrook from adverse effects of having a trail near there. We had to do 2 crossings of Route 100 to connect to Fiddler's Walk, to have a corridor to get people from the rec hub to downtown if they didn't want to move their car. And we had conservation and recreation visioning. So these were the big components of that $408,000 grant. So we have, knock on wood, it's all turned in, and we're getting our last $20,000 reimbursement. So I felt more like an accountant recently than a recreation director, but we did it, and it was a big lift by a lot of volunteers and a couple of staff people like me. And these are our funding partners. So Vorak, within that $408,000, $60,000 went to CRV. These other groups gave in a range from $2,000 to $15,000. Thank you very much, Fayston Conservation Commission, Town of Warren for digging deep and donating. Rec District has given $15,000. So we, many people around the state, these other foundations, found value in our project, and we were pretty proud to get additional funding because we knew the amount in Vorak was not going to cover everything we needed to do. And this is the steering committee. So what we did from the very beginning is get groups that were involved in either recreation or environmental things within the valley and have them put forward somebody who could come to multiple meetings a month sometimes. And so this full steering committee, you'll see, has a broad range of people. Many thanks to Brian Littmans, who was a really great partner in all of this and brought information back to people in Fayston. And it is a full watershed effort. So that's why Duxbury Land Trust was in there, Backcountry Coalition, et cetera. And we are very glad that all these volunteers, stuck it out with us over the course of about 3 years. And now we have a different setup for this 2.0 CRV gatherings, not as heavy of a lift. The project outcomes, these were the 3 main deliverables that we promised the state and that we have given the state now. And it's the foundation that we'll move forward with. So it's that online mapping tool that I said, and we consider an opportunity areas map, because if you're going to build a new trail, whether it's on your private land, whether you're a trails group, we hope people will use this mapping tool to say, okay, here's where I'd like to put my trail, but oh wait, there's some wetlands there. How can I reroute it to satisfy, my group, the reason why I'm building the trail, but also be kind to nature. So all these documents, the online mapping tool is interactive, so it's not a document, but the other 2 are documents, and we developed with the steering committee a shared vision, values, and guiding principles statement, which is a number of pages, but it really tells you the foundation of our work. We know that people will come and go from our CRV group moving forward. So we wanted to have a document that spoke to our values, what we were doing, so that new people could jump right in. We also did a recreational trail development process guide. It's only 2 pages. It references the state has some really good guidelines for building trails, and we didn't need to recreate the wheel. We're just, telling people that exists and some other basic guidelines. So, our goal is to really inform people. That's why we're coming around doing this slideshow. I've done it about 10, 12 times so far, and we have a few more to go, but to all the conservation commissions, all the select boards, all the planning commissions, Rotary, a couple of other groups. So we've gotten a really good response, and again, I hope you'll go onto mrvrd.org, and there's a section about CRV as a drop down. And so the next steps for CRV, we're going to have a quarterly meeting structure and an ongoing process regarding shared work priorities. So one of the things that happened over the past couple of years, the planning district was not able to participate because they were busy with the wastewater system, some other projects. But now the rec district is handing off to them the administrative part of this, which is great. I get my old job back. I can be the recreation director again. And Sam Robinson, the community planner at the planning district, is gonna do the admin for these quarterly meetings. And at some point, this information that's on the rec district website will migrate to their website. But the public are welcome at those quarterly meetings, but it's more like a select board meeting where they would have a time to ask questions, and we'll have an agenda among our steering committee. One of the things I didn't mention, when we first started, we had infrequent steering committee meetings, but we had very frequent working group meetings. And we had a rec and trails working group, and we had a separate ecological integrity working group. And that was so that among the trails people, there could be an openness and what are our goals, and trying to work together, and then bringing the 2 groups together in the steering committee meetings. So it worked well. There was a leadership team, and we met twice a month, luckily on Zoom, early in the morning. Phil Huffman, Ira Shadis, he's the executive director of the Friends of the Mad River, myself, and Alice Rogers, my board chair, to help keep her informed about the work. And so we met very frequently to plan different things. You probably saw in the newspaper, we had 4 community forums over the couple of years. They were all at LaRue Farm, and thank you to the Shanks for allowing us to use the pavilion. And the part of this was that we wanted to keep involving the public and reporting back as to what we were doing, because those 15 people on the steering committee are representing thousands of people, really, all the membership and users of different trail groups. So we also had 2 educational sessions where we had scientific speakers talk about the effect of trails on wildlife, other things like that. So during this grant-funded period, a lot of good ideas came up, but we didn't have time to address them because we had those 3 deliverables that slide earlier. And so we kept a list of, what are things that we're going to work on in the future once we fulfill the grant requirements. So there's a list of about 15, 20 or so of those. And I'm going to come to a couple of them as an example, but basically we want to sustain momentum, and different individuals will report back at the quarterly meetings on some of the priorities that we chosen to work on. And some of those are, this is just a sampling of the things on that list that will be, worked on in the near term, but could turn into a number of years as well. Some of these are not quick, but developing a code of ethics for Mad River Valley recreation users. We think it's important to have everybody's expectations the same, whether they're visitors, residents, in how to, use trails, protect the environment, et cetera, treat others. We really want to do outreach to private landowners. In our valley, there's probably as many private trails as there are public trails, and I think there's 260 miles of public trails, and I'm sure, everybody has a trail in their backyard or through their neighbors that nobody ever wants mapped because it's private, but it still has an effect on the environment. So the more we can get private landowners to look at the scientific things that have been developed, the better the chances of protecting the environment. And we as a group want to stay informed in understanding the ecological health of the valley. With climate change, obviously things keep changing. So the way you could build a trail decades ago is not the way you can build a trail now because of these crazy rain events, or else it gets degraded very quickly and hurts the streams and rivers, et cetera. So we want to keep gathering scientific information about the recreational impacts on the ecological health of the Mad River Valley, and want to use those two things to plan future trails and recreational infrastructure. A topic that we know is dear to many people's hearts, but is a really tough one, is dogs on trails. And of course we know there's an ecological effect, especially if an owner doesn't pick up the dog waste or picks it up but leaves the bag on the trail. In 2 of our towns there are leash laws, 2 of the towns just have voice control. So anytime we start talking about dogs, it's just very different. And one of the reasons that we wanted to build a dog park, and Eve Silverman was the person most responsible for the excellent dog park we have. She was a great volunteer. I got the privilege of working with her in a small committee, and we think that having a dog park takes a little bit of pressure off of unleashed dogs on trails. I mean, we can't give you any data on that, but there's options. People who live in cities expect infrastructure like that, and so, and some people, older people, can't walk with their dog on a leash. The dog needs more exercise than they can give them. A lot of different reasons for a dog park. So we're excited to have the Mad River Valley Dog Park at Brooksfield, and we're having a fundraising event on October 4th, so you'll hear more about that.
Yeah, and thanks to the Rec District for being our fiscal sponsor and allowing us to accept donations, which is
Yeah,
huge.
thanks. Well, we're happy to do it, and one of the things that the Rec District can do, I mean, I'm a half-time employee. We don't have as much programming as some other rec districts, but we're able to facilitate different groups to do different things. We do own Mad River Park. We raised money to put an irrigation system in there, some other things, but happy to do that. So those are some topics we'll continue working on. And that is the end of my slideshow. So I hope you have some questions or anything else you want to hear more about.
So, you have an overlay on your website about trails, is that what you said?
Yep.
So how do you know where all the trails, you don't know where the private trails are, right?
No.
Just, you're talking about the public
Right.
uh,
Yes.
bike trails? and
Right.
hiking
The mountain
trails?
bike trails, exactly.
Ski trails.
What?
And all the ski area trails.
Ski area trails, mountain bike, the Mad River Path, their trails, also, but at the beginning, we're sitting there saying, well, you use, science to help lead this project. The animals don't care whether it's a private trail or Mad River Path trail. I mean, probably the Mad River Path trail gets more usage,
Yes,
more
exactly.
people on it, but really, it's the same to nature. But nobody wants their private trails mapped. I mean, we put an offer out there, people wanted to come on that mapping tool. There is an offer to private landowners if you'd like to add your trails, but no one has.
Probably not, yeah.
I mean, I have trails on my private land in Warren. Yeah, I don't think anybody is really, because some of them are just really, you use infrequently, and it's close to your house, and that's the way you want it to stay, so. Other questions?
No, I think that's it.
So
The
I
map
would,
is great.
thanks. I would just close with, we probably will be coming back to different boards and things to see if you would endorse this idea of CRV moving forward. And so we're, as a group, looking into, what that statement would look like, and then, we'll come back and see, just as a way to support the effort moving forward, continue the momentum, and because there's no enforcement to this. It was all voluntary with the 15 groups participating, and that was really the only way we could do a project like this. But so far it's worked, everybody's listening to everybody else, and we're trying to do the best we can for the valley, so.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Have a good rest of your meeting.
All right, thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Have fun driving down the road.
Yes.
All right, so to continue on our agenda, it is the certificate of deposit for our 6-month renewal of the Northfield Savings Bank CD.
Yes, nothing to sign.
Right.
Sarah just said if you guys want to do it again, just to make a motion.
Yeah, I don't
She
see-
stated that like even if we had to borrow for the bridges, there's enough time,
Yeah,
that we'll be able to.
What is the rate? Did she say, she said in the email, right? Pretty sure she did.
Current rate is 3.9.
What is it?
3.9.
Yeah, okay.
So,
So, you want to make a motion?
Do we have to make?
yeah.
Oh, I
just to-
move to accept the extension of the 6-month
And I would second that
CD.
motion. And aye.
Aye.
All right, so now on to our curb cut access permit application for Edward O'Connor at 411 Marble Hill.
Yeah, don't know if you got a chance to read Jason's, but this is a second one. And so, a little bit tricky just because our land use stuff.
So the second one, we're gonna do another business, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So
this is the second one on
I read that. Josh, what's your opinion? I mean,
What's the use for?
he said, a pole barn possibly, or just to cut firewood.
So it's either agricultural or a building.
Right. Isn't there one kind of there
Well,
too, right now?
There's an existing access there if it's where I think it
no,
is.
Jason had a picture of it and he said it did look like there was one.
Yes.
Because last time I was up there, it was mowed, so they have access to it.
Right.
They must just wanna,
So, the other way around about it is that, does he,
Yeah.
so is firewood agriculture? I think logging is.
Logging
But is
is.
firewood agriculture?
No, and it's firewood production is not allowed here
Right.
So,
for sale.
for sale. Yeah.
and so then, the other thing would be if he ever applied to build a building, the DRB would have to grant that curb cut. Or they either grant it
Well,
or
you'd have to
not.
subdivide.
Or no, they can, the DRB can actually grant a second curb cut according to those
Yeah.
rules, under certain circumstances,
Right.
mostly for safety.
You need to have a certain amount of road frontage too, don't you, I believe?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean, as far as visibility and where it is, I have no problem with it, but
I think that maybe we need to get Jason here to, I mean, from Josh's standpoint, he's right, we're talking about safety and all those things, he's not trying to interpret the zoning regulations.
no.
Right.
That would be Jason, and
Right.
it seems to me this could be a zoning regulation issue,
Right.
not a location.
Correct.
Does that seem right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should have Jason at the next meeting to
I would agree with
Is
that.
that, I mean, I read what he
Yeah.
wrote, but I don't know that that's,
Yeah, no, I think we should continue this
Yeah.
and have him.
okay. 'Cause we wanna be fair, but we don't wanna overstep our
Right,
bounds either.
and I think Jason, when he talked to him, you know, he was explaining too, like, you know, do you have a different plan for this? Because you don't wanna like say that it's agriculture and then you have a different plan and then you're kind of stuck in the,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, so trying to get the full, you know, story of it first. So I can ask Jason if he can come to the next meeting,
Sounds great.
and we'll just let
Edward know.
that to be continued.
Next item up for business is 1245 Center Fayston Road, the water line, which is within the right-of-way and crosses Center Fayston Road. We had a site visit on the 14th, to look at this issue and have done some further work communicating with past road foreman.
If you're knowing if that helps you.
And basically, you know, we spoke with Stuart and Mike Quinville regarding the area, and we have learned that the plastic culverts that exist on the road that we're looking at, both of those were installed by the town. Initially, that spring line that fed
Gates.
the house was within one of the culverts. And that's when it was to be moved under the road.
Because it was seasonal probably, right?
Yes, because it was seasonal. At that time, Stewart gave permission for them to cross the road with the spring line, but that was it. He went up there during the installation and discussed with Kingsbury's about where it was going. Kingsbury's indicated that it was, you know, hitting ledge, and they put it, and that's why they started putting it in the ditch line. He said that he didn't agree with them, but in the end, it was installed there. So now we need to figure out where we're gonna go moving forward, as we can't clear the ditch where the current line is.
Right.
And both those culverts are nearly failed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the best approach is.
Is it something we have to do before winter? Have we, I know we've hit the insulation that's over it. I don't know how much we've actually compromised it.
Right. Unless you dig it up
You're never
and
gonna
really
know.
compromise it, I can't tell you
The
that.
insulation was really close to the surface.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't much below.
No, it was 2.5 feet above the inlet of the culvert. So, I mean, that culvert was completely blocked off and non-functioning.
So, we probably don't have much money left in the culvert.
No.
Enough.
Enough?
I think there's $5,000,
So,
5,000 change.
you had brought up about replacing a culvert,
Right.
getting the line down near the culvert. I mean,
Well, you know, how that configuration is, it would be much better to get as much of that system out of the right-of-way as possible.
right,
You know, already the spring is in the right-of-way. Now we have a long section of transmission line that's in the right-of-way.
Right, so it just creates a whole zone that's difficult to work with because it's so large.
Right.
so how about,
Just going straight across the road.
and getting it out of where, I mean, the culvert's a point of freezing,
Right.
because it's cold air going through it, it freezes faster. So we'd have to get it away, maybe.
You'd have to get it under it.
Maybe if we put a new culvert in
Is put it
and
on.
allowed them to put the pipe in a ditch near us, or dig their own, across the road.
And I don't know what you're gonna run into for, if they said they're hitting ledge, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna run into by that spring.
I mean, there's gonna be more frost on the road than there is in the
Yeah.
ditch.
Yeah. Yeah, especially there because the water's being fed by all the springs up above it.
Yeah.
That's keeping it warm.
Is that why that space, that place in Center Fayston is so
Muddy?
muddy
Yeah.
Yeah.
every year? It's
That's because
always
that ditch was full. The water had nowhere to go.
And so, when he went to ditch it, we exposed some insulation, which turns out to be covering the water line. So,
Yeah, that's
so,
always
I
a
think
bad
that we
spot.
could facilitate by changing the culvert, but I don't think we own much of that. I mean, we might own the fact that we didn't stop it,
Right. Right, correct.
but we could facilitate it across the road and then allow them to just
Install.
hook back into it by a
Correct.
private contractor
Yep,
and take it to the house or camp or whatever it is.
right, and I think that's probably the course of action.
Right, I mean, but the trick is actually keeping it from freezing, which I don't think we want to be responsible for,
No.
Right.
right? So but I think we could facilitate it.
Yep.
And they could hire someone, or she could hire someone to put the pipe in and the insulation over it. Whether it's, deeper than our culvert. I think we owe something, whether it's the digging of it, because we let it go when we probably should have
Stopped it.
it.
Yep.
And then, but just change one culvert for now.
Yeah.
If we're like,
The one right there by the spring
Spring.
is the one that I would change.
right.
Right, right.
I think that's what yeah,
Right,
And then they could offset the line,
and insulate it.
yeah.
either side of that.
I don't even care if they go 4 feet under it and
Right.
insulate it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much you're gonna be able to dig
Go,
there if
yeah,
it's all,
exactly.
if it's ledge, it's,
But what I'm also thinking is, I'm thinking that we would end up doing the digging down the 4 feet, whatever it is. We can't, I think, dig up a culvert and then have a private contractor come in to
right.
finish
right.
digging. Right, I mean, I think we could do.
Yes.
We could do that.
Yeah.
But they would have to supply the pipe and the insulation
Yeah.
and the labor to hook it up.
Yep.
Yeah, I could,
And we'll just
Stub
bring it
it.
to the other side of the road, yeah.
and then they take it from there and
Leave
they'll
a-
have
leave
to,
a- Leave a coil and,
on the landowner's side towards their house, they're gonna have to be responsible to run the line that way.
That
I
way,
can-
yes, exactly.
And I
I
think-
can bring it out
And
from where I
outside the
can,
right of way,
where I can reach from the road there.
and the pipe and the insulation,
right.
they would be responsible for.
I would agree. I think
I think
that's
that's
the
fair.
best
So I
approach.
wonder, that's a proposed thing. Maybe we would put together a plan, a narrative of how it would go and vote on it in the next meeting. And when Chuck's here, so we're all in agreement.
Yep,
And then, we just would have to do it before.
I'd have to get the culvert, which I should be
Well-
able to get.
So is that a bus route?
No, the bus turns around at Strong.
Okay, so that's
so
good.
it's better
It's still gonna be finding the time
to get it in.
I have other things coming up
Yep.
sooner than later that it's gonna take all of the crew.
How long a job is that? One day to do it and another day to clean it up?
It's a day,
Day?
yeah, and probably to finish cleaning up the ditch, cause I don't wanna
Grade it and,
touch her existing water line until she can
Switch over.
deal with the one that I'm
Right.
putting in.
yes.
Right,
And then I'll have to go back and,
And then
Take that.
somebody, they'll come along and do, not damage to the road, but they'll affect the road finishing that, the one going into the spring, for sure.
yeah,
yeah, I'm not gonna touch the spring, I don't,
No.
yeah.
town
No,
doesn't
no,
need
no,
any
no, no.
responsibility with that. But like I said, I don't know, it's a great option, but I don't know, we say we'll dig it, but if I dig down and hit ledge, are we renting another machine with a hammer on it to continue this process? Because I can only do so much.
I don't think so. I mean, either they've gotta find a way to insulate it. Well, it goes under the road now.
Yeah,
A lot
I
lower.
mean-
farther
Yeah,
down
so you
there.
mean-
So no matter where it goes.
I don't think it's that deep.
Like a lot farther down from like where you're trying
Right,
to
but
have
I'm
to be.
saying,
Yeah,
The
like,
conditions can't be that much
30,
different.
40 feet.
I mean, they
Yeah.
could be, right? Ledge pops up anywhere. But probably the conditions aren't much different from there
no.
to there.
And where that turn, where it's going in, the blue board was right there. So I don't think that's even very deep.
The existing one's not very deep, no.
No. So it's going under the road fairly shallow anyway, so I hope we can get down. Well, the culvert's there, so we know we can get down at least that deep.
Right.
And it has a big belly in the bottom of it, so it's,
You know, you can go a little deeper.
But we wanna make sure it's deep enough to the
Yeah.
point where it's out of the way next time we clean out the
Replace that.
ditch and replace the culvert, hopefully never in my time. That's why it'll be a metal one, not a plastic one.
all right.
Okay, so yeah, I'll put together kind of a plan proposal and at the next meeting.
All right.
I think so. Maybe we could write something up that we could all agree on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From the minutes or whatever it is, what we're offering to do and what their responsibility is.
Yeah, I know all that takes time to get put together. It wouldn't be too proactive for me to get some culvert coming.
Yeah.
I mean, one way or the other, I'm gonna
One
use
way
the
or the other.
culvert
Right, we're gonna
somewhere.
put it into,
No, yeah, one way or the other, that's gonna be changed, whether you do that one or something else. But I would say it's fair. You
Okay,
guys agree? Yeah.
cause I'm probably
I
gonna
agree.
use what I have left for money and get some
What
culverts
do we-
coming.
Didn't we get one from North Fayston Road? that
That's
we
a
took out?
It's already got a
4 foot,
place.
and that's
Oh.
already,
Okay, I'm just trying.
that's got a home.
That already
Okay.
has a home.
That's a little large for there.
yeah. All right, so,
No culvert goes
we'll,
up.
we'll go right into road foreman update.
Lately, we've been going around trying to catch up on some ditching and some problem areas. Vassar Road we're currently working on, it was getting pretty wide and pushed out over what was a stone line ditch at the bottom of the dip. It's no longer stone lined, I had to dig it all out, it was failed, full of silt, so that got hauled off and thrown away. We're working our way up to the top, quite a bit of ledge on that road.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Luckily enough, it's been peeling apart somewhat easy to try to keep a ditch line as best we can. Plan is to go right up over the top, and I got some more work to do on the other side of the road. There's some buried utilities in there that we gotta watch out for, and some other drainage pipe. But that'll take us a little bit of time to get to that section.
I think you've done a good job, Josh, on
You
this
did the,
list.
I was say you did the grant
Yeah,
since we've been last been
I
here.
got that grant accomplished on Airport Road from the bridge up to Rankin, the
yeah.
stone lined.
Yeah.
Talked to McCullough, they said mid-September for our sand. Still trying to touch base with them a little more and figure out if we're gonna crush or just bring in a screen. Probably just gonna be the screen this year and get that done. And talk to them about next year and what the plan is.
Yeah.
Did Sean Rankin Road too or no?
Yeah, Rankin Road is done, ditched. Oh man, we ditched Strong Road, part of Airport Road, above Strong Road. We ditched that section too. We've been bouncing around.
Your tank?
Oh yeah, we had a failure in our bulk tank for our chloride. So a 5,000 gallon tank sprung a leak. We lost some of that. I hauled a bunch of it to Waitsfield. I have to get back from them. Talked them into giving us a new tank so we didn't have to buy one because they're like $8 grand.
Yeah.
So they brought me one. It's a used one, but at least it doesn't leak. Yeah.
Trying to think.
Had a bunch of trucks get serviced out at the dealers. mostly warranty stuff.
Did we ever end up, what was the issue with one of the trucks?
I'm still dealing with it. It's an
Okay.
engine brake issue and reverse, and I'm dealing with corporate on that, which is a lot more difficult than service, because it's talking to people that I don't know if they quite understand what's going on, but it's a lot of phone tag, basically.
Mhm.
I don't think anything's gonna come of it. I don't think they're gonna do anything for us. I think that's the next truck to get replaced, and it'll be that way till we trade it in.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, thanks, Josh.
Yeah,
I
no
think-
problem.
I think you've done a good job on the list.
All right, so now, next things, approve excess weight permits.
Yes, we just have one, which is David Welch. Dog truck, one of the loggers.
It's Dunbar Hills wake up alarm.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm surprised people haven't installed that.
All right, now, other business, we have an additional curb cut.
Yes. So this is Stagecoach.
31 Stagecoach Road.
Yes.
And what's the purpose? I didn't see
They're
this.
building a house.
Build a house.
Yeah.
And this is the single.
There's nothing there right now.
And you,
Yeah, I've been up there. There's no visibility issues. It's, power line comes up out of the woods right there, just near the intersection of Bragg Hill and Stagecoach, and they're just above that. There's a cleared area. Looks like,
Do they signify where the curb cut is, or do you?
they have it on their
on their plan.
plan.
From an engineer?
Yes.
Yeah.
From
Who is that, Grenier?
McCain. I
McCain.
think it's like right there. It's proposed somewhere. I saw it.
Yeah, so it'd be right here, right?
Yeah, the next one over, if you, I think it's, oh, actually the last one is where I saw it.
Oh, okay.
It's just like proposed farm road there, I think.
Yeah, I would just, if they're gonna put a culvert in there, I'd do 2 foot.
So do you wanna make that as a condition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because you said they might not even need one.
There's a culvert in the road that crosses just above, where they wanna go in,
Onto their property?
onto their property. So I'm not sure how they're gonna wanna mitigate that water.
We don't want it back into the town ditch.
Right, there is no ditch there. They're on the low side of the road.
So it's
Its
last-
sheet flows off the road.
Right? They'll have to divert that on their property or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even think they would necessarily need a culvert at the roadside, because everything is running downhill now, and I don't plan on putting a ditch in there. But they're gonna have to deal with the water farther down their driveway. But that's on them, and that's out of my right of way.
Out of our curb cut.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna put a culvert in, which I don't think is necessary, I would say 2 foot, just because that's what we do is 2 foot, and if they do any type of dirt work to keep that water from shedding down onto their property, then I'm gonna have to carry it somewhere,
Right.
and it's not far before the intersection.
Right.
But I definitely don't need that water coming down Stagecoach and then
Right.
down Bragg.
Right.
I say it'd be better safe than sorry.
Right, that we just,
Put 24 in the
24.
culvert in.
so,
I think it's easier to get it asked for up front than it is later on down the road, be like, well, you need a culvert.
Well,
Yeah,
to
right.
that.
right, and that is the end of our other, oh,
No.
nope, we need Sorry.
Yeah, we got,
to,
so, yes, need to make a motion just, for Tyler to be our Army Corps agent.
What's
And
the name? Tyler?
Tyler Billingsley from East Engineer, he's the town engineer for the, bridge
Two
design.
bridge projects.
Somebody wants to make that
so
motion.
we want to make a motion for Tyler Billingsley to be our agent for both the A&R stream alteration permit and the ACOE permit
I
application.
second it.
And then also just need to make a motion, for him to go forward with the A&R and the Army Corps permits.
I would make a motion to have Tyler Billingsley go forward on the permit application.
I'll second it.
Aye.
Aye.
Awesome. And then Ron, you wanted to add?
Yeah, so, Josh, so we have, a jam made, the damaged jam.
Yeah,
And Evan hasn't had time to do it. He's leaving, September 1st for a couple weeks. He promised to do it when he got back, to weld it on. And so then what I would do is I would call Limoges. I'll order the door now. It won't take them long to get it.
Right.
And then, they didn't want to come install a door until they could fix the weather strip on the front.
right.
That makes sense. And, I'm meeting Tuesday with my foam guy to foam between the two buildings. But I've kind of lost, access to somebody who would, the plexiglass in the.
On the lower bay windows,
portion,
yeah.
There's some plexiglass, I was gonna foam over it, when we pull them out and replace a couple windows on the other, on the bigger portion
Yeah,
to, let light in, cause
Yeah.
Josh likes it. And, I've lost that guy, so it's gonna be tough, but I can tighten it up. Between the door, the foam, it'll tighten. And
Yeah.
The two doors. Now, the one thing I might add too is I don't know, I know you cleaned up, the door that doesn't operate that we're gonna replace?
yeah, the back door.
Is that gonna, I think we wanna make sure before winter comes, we can at least make it accessible. I know you cleaned it up a lot, but I don't know
Yeah.
if there's still, roots and shrubs and junk in there, whatever. There was some growth when I saw it.
Yeah,
So I'm just saying, so when they come to do that door, we wanna make it usable.
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, I can take care of that.
Okay. Other than that, so at 2 weeks ago meeting, you Zoomed, right?
Yep.
The last meeting. I called McCain Consulting about I know you're busy, so I
Yep.
just said, hey. And it's George, right? So, but Gunnar was there. Gunnar got on the phone with me and said, I'll give George the message. So I'm going through these again. I didn't hear from McCain, so I called and left him a message again today. Because I do believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, we really need to have a survey first
Yes.
to know where we can drill and
Yep.
do
No, that-
samples.
exactly.
Right, we can't, we don't have a clue. So it's not dependent upon us doing anything that I know of, but I have asked him, do we owe you anything? Right, because maybe we do, I don't know. I doubt it,
No, because you just need the meets and bounds.
right? We need to flag it and, yeah, so anyway, I made a couple phone calls because I just think they're probably busy
Yeah.
and they need a little push.
Yeah, because it would be good, because also if we get it surveyed and staked, we can kind of figure out where the other borings that were done when it was opened up.
Say what again?
So we have the documents for when it was originally opened up,
Okay,
and they have the locations of the borings that they did during that time
okay,
on a parcel map.
and they have the data.
Yeah, and so that would give us some more information.
Okay.
So it'd be great to actually figure out where those locations are based on that.
So I'll call again tomorrow.
Yeah.
They were in a meeting, so, the message. So I think actually most of the stuff on our list is really budgeting. You're on the MOUs and stuff like that, but,
Yeah.
long-term solution for Tucker Hill is definitely a budget question. And I did check out, I think sealing cracks is the way to go. It's in our budget notes. And I look and see what Warren's done, and they've saved a road for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Primary Lincoln Gap. And you can see even German Flats, which I drive a short amount of it, a lot. You can see where they pave, the two pavers come, it just shrinks every year.
Yeah, just bigger, bigger,
And
bigger,
then
bigger.
water
bigger.
gets in there,
Pushes.
freezes, ice, cracks. So I think we could actually, I don't know what it costs, but I bet
Yeah,
somebody from the town of Warren could tell us.
Yeah, I can
They've done
talk,
a lot of it.
I can talk to Andrew.
And just see, because it might be for $10,000, we could get another year or two out of, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
out
I
of-
agree.
Out of a road, because it's getting more and more expensive to pave.
Yeah,
I mean,
without a doubt.
Yep.
You know, we have both this and Bragg that we wanna preserve.
I mean, we did a good patch on German Flats. I mean, I think we did a good thing.
Yeah,
We did the worst portion of it, but that wasn't cheap. And
No, no, no.
so anyway,
I think that's good for other business.
All right, well then, read the mail and sign the warrant.
No mail.
All right.
yes, it's all emailed. There's no paper anymore.
Sarah's nice printer and her voided checks yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Her printer just randomly does some weird stuff. You can't figure it out.
Did you guys see Chuck's catch?
Yes, she showed me the picture.
Yeah.
I told him I was gonna put it in the town report.
What's that?
I told him I was gonna put it in the town report.
There you go. Is that his nephew? Is that what he said it was?
Yeah, I didn't read the message.
Where's he
there.
fishing? Colorado, right?
Yeah, I actually don't know.
thought he was in Canada.
Yeah, I thought it was in Canada too.
He was in Canada last time.
I thought he was going to the same place now.
Oh, I think so. I think it's his nephew or something. He's getting a job and giving up his guide business.
Okay.
He's a fishing guy. I don't know. We'll have to ask. Looks like the taxes are coming in, huh?
Yeah, Sarah figured it out, like $1 million more paid at the due date than last year
Really?
instead of the delinquent date.
That's scary since Mike noticed that the delinquent taxes were going up every year,
Right,
right?
Well, it's up.
And that the taxes are higher,
right.
period.
They came in, Washington Electric came and took the light off the post too. They're gonna take down that pole.
Oh, there it was.
Yeah. That light got shut off. Sounds good. No one's complained about the parking lot lights yet, so
What did we pay Winterset 5,000
Bridges.
for?
that's the monthly rental for bridges,
Or temp bridges.
temp
But
bridges.
I thought we paid the rent up front
No, I think
for
we
a
pay,
year.
I thought we pay it monthly.
for a year. I thought it was in the original proposal.
Okay.
It hasn't been well, it has been a year. How you haven't been paying that every month though?
Okay, well then, maybe because it's been a year?
Yep, I bet that is probably August rental, or no, whatever it was, whenever it went in.
August, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a year.
I bet that's what it is, right? Because I remember it was 1 year. Then he said it was like 40 grand a year or something like that.
Yeah, well, five
Whatever, man.
times 12, 50, 60.
Yeah, their bridges are all clean. I cleaned them.
What's that?
I washed
Right
those
straight.
bridges.
You did? You put water in the chloride tank?
No, I pulled it.
A pump in the river?
Yeah,
There's no water in the river.
there's enough.
I mean, we walked down to the river the other day and.
The sandbar?
It's got green algae in it.
Yeah.
In the bottom.
Yeah. Yep, it's low.
It's low.
All right, make a,
I would make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Aye.
Aye.
Recording stopped.